All right, so today is Friday, the 30th of August 2024. Today is the last trading day for the month. The month has come to an end on the trading calendar, or is coming to an end. Let me use that word. By the end of today, we'll be through with the month of August, and by Monday, we'll already be in the month of September. So, like I always say, by the end of the month, appraise yourself, what you've done right, back tests, check your trading journals, look through your successful trades and the ones that are not successful, the ones that are successful, identify what you did right. And the trades that were not successful, also try to identify what you didn't do right so that way you can, on the overall improve your trading performance as a trader, and it will help you to get better. So today we have some fundamental events. 2 a.m. we had retail sales released from Australia, and even 12:30 a.m. Tokyo core CPI was already released. But the events that we'll have in the course of today, we have by 10 a.m. we have the CPI flash estimate and the core CPI flash estimate from the Eurozone by 10 a.m. this morning. That'll be 10 a.m., just roughly like 3 hours from now. And by 1:30 p.m., there's a GDP. GDP is gross domestic product from Canada, and the core PCE price index from the United States. All these events I'm mentioning, they are all tradable. And by 2:45 p.m., we have Chicago PMI from the United States, and 3 p.m. revised UOM consumer sentiment from the United States. But this is morning analysis, so our focus will be in the morning session, and we are looking strictly at what will happen in the Eurozone by 10 a.m. this morning. That's the CPI flash estimate and the core CPI flash estimate from the Eurozone. So let's click the details to know what this news event is all about. So the CPI flash estimate measures the change in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers, and actual greater than forecast is good for the currency, while the core CPI flash estimate is the change in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers, excluding food, energy, alcohol, and tobacco. Again, actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. So from the fundamental side, if by 10 a.m. the actual comes out better than the forecast, we'll have the data released just under the actual segment here. If the data is good for the dollar, for the euro, then it will be in color green. And if that happens, we will see a bullish movement on the euro pairs. The euro will be bullish. And if on the other hand, the data comes out bad, for the euro, the color will be in red. And at that instance, we'll see a bearish movement on the euro pairs. So that's all I can say from what we are seeing on the screen now, as regards this event. Now I'll flip over to the technical. We'll look at the euro pairs ahead of this event, and also we'll look at other technical setup, which is already being formed in the market, which can take advantage of or prepare ourselves for as they eventually mature. All right, so this is the MetaTrader platform. And generally, for most of the euro pairs, I've been bearish for quite some time on most of the euro pairs, most of them. Though for Euro USD, there is an expectation I have which is yet to be met, on the Euro USD. Probably maybe this event of today is what will make that expectation a reality. Now, from my own perspective, I was expecting Euro USD to, hit the resistance and that confluence, that trend line from the monthly time frame. And that is expected to lead to the bearish movement. But somehow it's been selling on its own before, all this happened. So let's just see what may happen in the course of this news. So if you want to look at what is happening presently, price is actually coming down to a previous resistance, which may now act as a support. So if price drops to this support level, then we may expect possibly a bounce afterwards. So price is not really around a tradable area at the moment. So if the news comes out, bad for the for the euro, for example, well, we may expect price to project towards the zone, which from there we can now look for an opportunity to buy. So it's not really a setup we really want to look at the moment, the euro USD. And that being said, I'll also check the euro. I've been looking at the euro AUD, the euro card lately also. Now, I've been bearish on the euro card. I dropped the update on this instrument yesterday. Now, if the news comes out, now this one is already a trade in motion. It's a head and shoulder. It's a swing setup already in motion. So the only thing I can say is that if the news comes out bad for the euro, then I can tell you that this euro card will drop further. Yeah, it will drop further if the news comes out bad for the euro. So it will help push it. And that's one benefit of trading swing, because most of the time events like this, is what the setup needs to push to the required profit taking level. So for euro card, currently the price, price hit Fibonacci 50, then you can see after it hit 50, it entered a retracement. And that Fibonacci 50 there it's a confluence, because on that same level here, we have a valid support level, which is also a part of the neckline of this head and shoulder pattern. So you can see that price is trading around a major confluence level. So if the news comes out bad for the euro, you can watch out. If it's bad for the euro, then I expect a further drop, in the euro card. That will be an opportunity for us to trigger a sell. We have, a valid downtrend pattern already for the euro card. So what we'll be looking at today for this news is, if the news comes out bad for the euro, you can trigger a sell on euro card. And if you remember for those who are in the funded group, I gave the reason why euro card dropped to it. Initially, when I sent the update yesterday about euro card, in the morning, I said it was already at about 75 pips profit. Then barely, not even up to 30 minutes later, I updated that it has now dropped to 120 pips in profit. It's because the news in the yesterday morning, there was a euro news that came out bad for the euro, and that's what dropped. That's what led to this massive drop that you are seeing here. So if the same thing happened again today, the news comes out bad for the euro, to be a time to trigger a sell on the euro card. So I think we just focus our attention on the euro card this morning for the euro news by 10 o'clock. Actual less than forecast means you can trigger a sell, because we expect further bearish breakout on the euro card. All right, so that being said, let's look at the technical setup we have, for today. Now, I've been looking at the AED USD for some time. I've been looking at the AED USD. Though it will require volatility to break out, but I hold a bearish outlook. It's been ranging in the last like 1 day, ranging in the last 1 day. But technically, I hold a bearish outlook on this instrument. And how did I come about that? You can see we have a descending trend line from the monthly time frame, and on the weekly price, aside descending trend line, we equally have a valid resistance, valid resistance. This is still quite close also. A valid resistance on the daily time, on the weekly time frame, which on the daily time frame, the yesterday candle closed as a rejection candle. So you can see on each of the time frame. Okay, let me do something for the benefit of those who might be new to all this. Let me just clarify better. On the monthly time frame, we have a descending trend line, and what happens is that when price hits trend line and does not break out, we expect a bearish continuation. That's what we expect. Since it's a downtrend, that means the trend is downwards. And on the weekly time frame, we have a resistance level, which is equally expected to lead to a bearish, movement in price. And on the daily time frame, we have a rejection candle, which is equally expected to lead to a bearish movement in price. And finally, on the 4 hour, we still have that rejection candle, much more still prominent. And we equally have a rising wedge pattern Rising wedge pattern is equally a bearish pattern. So you can see that from the monthly time frame down to the 4-hour time frame, we have a bearish outlook on the AUD USD. So we don't know if it's going to happen in the course of today, but if price breaks out below this trend line, then it will be a time to trigger a sell on AUD USD. Now, this is the 4-hour setup. This is the swing setup. I think we can still go down to the 1 hour. So for intraday traders, you can still catch something. Yes, the big move is actually going to be on the swing side, but then the intraday traders can still, jump in on the trend earlier also. So if you're there, you're an intraday trader, just wait for a new candle to break out below this level. And at that point, you should also expect your RSI to be below 50. So the price breaks out below this level and your RSI breaks out below 50, you can trigger a sell on AUD USD. And if you're a swing trader, you need to wait for the same setup on the 4-hour time frame. You need to wait for it on 4-hour. You need to wait for a breakout, and you need to wait for RSI below 50 to trigger a sell. So we're bearish on the AUD USD. And the same thing also I'm seeing on the New Zealand USD. The New Zealand USD is the next one we look out for. It has a similar setup, bearish. Though the structure is not exactly the same, but we're still bearish nonetheless. Now for the New Zealand USD, this is the outlook. On the weekly time frame, we actually have, a pattern that is looking as like a symmetrical triangle. I know symmetrical triangle, a breakout upwards is a buy, a breakout downwards is a sell. And currently price is, on the trend line, price is touching the trend line. So technically we're looking for the next wave of movement is downwards. That's the next wave of movement is downward in this pattern on the weekly time frame. And also, if you come to the monthly time frame and draw another trend line, it's still, a downtrend again. And not just the downtrend, you have the trend line touching exactly the same point where the previous trend line touched, which is giving us a confluence and a downward view of the same New Zealand USD. So from the weekly time frame, we have two scenarios which will lead to a bearish movement on this instrument. And on the daily time frame, yesterday closed with a rejection candle. At that confluence point, it closed with a rejection candle. So technically, that is also giving us a bearish outlook on this instrument. Again, if you're a swing trader, you can explore the swing option, where you expect price to break out, with another trend line here, which forms a rising wedge. But on this one also, you can go down to 1 hour. So you're a day trader. This is an opportunity for you. All things being equal, we'll also try to update you as the breakout happens in the funded group though. All right, so you can see the current candle is even trying to, it's already testing the trend line. You can see it's already trying to make a break below that level, though I will still draw a support zone right here and patiently wait for price to break that zone. And this is forming a pattern that looks a lot, oh, sorry about that. This is forming a pattern that looks a lot like a head and shoulder, and that will lead to a breakout. So with all this analysis, I'm very, very bearish on the New Zealand USD, just as I am on the AUD USD. And I also have a view on the New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CAD is just like we have on New Zealand USD. It's a downtrend on the weekly resistance, and on the 4-hour we have a rejection candle, and still if you go down to 1 hour, it's just very similar. We're expecting a breakout also. So I'm bearish on the AUD USD, New Zealand USD, New Zealand CAD, both on 1 hour and 4 hours. So it's either if you're intraday, you're okay. If you're swing, you're good. Whichever time frame you're trading, you're just good. Just wait for the breakout to trigger a sell on the three of them, on the three of those instrument. Now, US oil is another instrument I'm looking at. So that one will require some volatility, but if the breakout happens today, I can tell you that it will lead to some very, very good profit. It will be a profitable trade. Let me put it that way. Now, for the US oil on this setup is actually on the 4-hour time frame. I cited a symmetrical triangle. Now, if price breaks out upwards, it's a buy. If it breaks out downwards, it's a sell. So we just need to wait in the course of today. It should be today trade, all things being equal. We just wait patiently for that breakout to happen, and we can trigger our trade in either direction where the trade takes us. For symmetrical triangle, I mean, it's a dual setup. Anywhere the breakout happens, and you can see that price is currently decisive. It's in the middle of the pattern. So if it breaks out upward, it's a buy. If it breaks out downward, it's a sell. Now, what I can give you as a heads up is this: if it breaks out upward, you can open 2 trades and target this high as the take profit level. In those places I put the lines can be the profit taking level. This can be TP1 and this can be TP2. And if it breaks out downwards, then this can be your TP1 for a sell, and this other one can be your TP2. So but we'll update you also on this as we see it happen in the market, we'll let you know. And I also have my view on BTC USD. I analyzed this instrument earlier in the week, and I said once it hit this support zone that there will be some retracement. I don't know if you remember. Now it's trying to break out. What I said specifically then was that on hitting this support zone, there'll be retracement, and we can have a further breakout later. Why do we expect a further breakout? Because there's still room for price to go downwards. This support zone, it is just Fibonacci 38.2. Price can still, retrace, which has happened, and drop to Fibonacci 50 and possibly 61.8. So there's still room for price to drop further on the BTC. So if price breaks out below this support zone today, then you might look for an opportunity to sell. Though there's another thing I see, because today is Friday, market can do actually not just Friday. Today is the last day of the month. There'll be some end of month moves today. Please take note of that. So there'll be some volatility in the afternoon today to end the month. So you need to trade with caution, especially in the afternoon today. Trade with a lot of caution. There'll be, there is usually end of week volatility, and there's also end of month volatility. And that one end of month can be much more volatile than the end of week. And if you're on a trade, just make sure you're on the right direction, because that volatility can actually push your trade to some serious profit. And if it's on the other side, it can also have some damaging effect. So trade with a lot of caution and trade in the direction of long-term movement of the market, which is what we always focus on when we're doing this analysis. So if the move happens, it's possible that since this is still a support zone for this BTC, we may end up having this kind of movement. It may twist it around. That's a possibility. And if it goes well, it may actually push it downwards. So prepare for both. If you're to take a sell, make sure there's a clear breakout below that support zone. Don't assume. Don't say, oh, Mr. Rotimi said it's going to drop, so let me just enter ahead. No. Wait for a clear breakout below the support zone before you trigger a sell, or otherwise we may experience, some move back to the bullish direction. Those are the two scenarios that could happen on this instrument. So, and finally, I'll look at USD card. Now, somebody asked about this USD card. I didn't want to mention it before, but because the person asked, I'll give my view. Now, I'm actually bullish on the dollar. Dollar index still remains bullish. So it's not been, we've not had some volatility on the dollar lately. Yeah, the news yesterday went as planned and gave us some, some decent profit on the dollar. But notwithstanding, USD card, this is USD card on the daily time frame. All right. Now you can see we're not having some clear sharp movement over there. Let's just go down to the daily. Now on the daily, or let's start from the weekly. On the weekly time frame, you can see we have a valid uptrend on the USD card. So technically a price hitting here, we should expect, a further bullish movement. And on the daily time frame, we can see we have a support zone. So we have an uptrend and a support zone. And the support zone is also expected to, lead to a further bullish movement on price. And furthermore, on the 4-hour, we have a falling wedge pattern, which is expected to lead to a bullish movement again, on the dollar. 1 hour, we're not really having clarity. We've been experiencing a range. Now, this is what will happen if there is no sufficient volatility, on the dollar today. Price may drop. On a normal day, we should experience a breakout, but it depends a lot on the volatility in the market. And today is Friday. Volatility may drop, especially from around 12. So if we don't have volatility as expected, price may drop back to this support zone. And that's what I can say on the USD card for now. On the big picture, we are to expect a bullish breakout. On the short term, we may experience, a retracement back to the previous support zone. So maybe if that happens, if it retraces to a sell today, then that means from next week we may expect the bullish breakout. So, but for now, it's the market. There's not been much volatility on the dollar. So let's just wait for the market to do its thing. Then we just follow. That's what we always do anyway. We identify where the market is going and we follow. So for now, there's nothing much around the USD card. All right, so I've already stated my own analysis. So at this point, I will answer all the questions, those who are dropping requests. But before I do that, let me just do a recap on all the instruments I've analyzed. I've analyzed the AED USD, and we're bearish both on the 1 hour and 4 hour. We're bearish on the New Zealand USD on 1 hour and 4 hour. We're bearish on the New Zealand card on 1 hour and 4 hour. We're bearish on the long term on the BTC. But like I said, it's possible to experience a retracement in the bullish direction also, but the focus should be on the downtrend on the BTC, and it's a 4-hour setup. And we're bearish on the US oil. Now that US oil you can look at it both on 4 hour and even it's a symmetrical triangle. You can also make entry on 1 hour if that's is also. Let's look at the 1 hour. All right, so you can do both 1 hour and 4 hour for the US oil. So it depends on your trading style. If you're a 4-hour trader, if you're a swing trader, look out for the 4-hour break. And if you're a day trader, you can look out for the 1-hour break. So either ways for this US oil, you are good, whichever type of trader you are. So we are both bullish and bearish because that's what US oil is all about. Is where the breakout happens. If it breaks out upward, it's a buy. If it breaks out downward, it's a sell. So we are having our eyes also on the US oil. All right, so that's all from my end. Now I will attend to the requests I'm seeing here. Then we'll round up for the day. Okay, I was first respond to Mr. Prince Daniel. He's saying, please, with body of candle or eye, I just want to know when the market to break. Okay, I think you should need to rephrase that question properly because I'm not really getting what you're trying to say. Maybe you're asking how to know when a breakout will happen. A breakout will happen when a new candle, a new candle opens outside of a pattern, maybe outside of a trend line, that's what we mean by a breakout. That's not just the eye. You see, okay, like for example, now, let me show you this BTC. Now here we have what we call a breakout candle. Price is within the trend line, but this is a candle that came outside. It's even close. Is a candle that broke out. So at the close of this candle, that's when you trigger a sell. So that's what we mean when we talk about a breakout candle. A candle that breaks out completely. Sometimes it will have even started from inside the pattern, then project outside. That's even a more common scenario. Mr. Olabi is asking about USD card. I already answered that. USD CHF. What is there on USD CHF? Okay. Now, USD CHF on the We are bullish on the dollar, but like I said, the dollar is a function of the volatility in the market. Though I can assure you that next month dollar will really go bullish. By Monday I'll give you the outlook for the new month. But let's just end the month of August first. A lot of volatility is expected as we approach September. You can see here that USDCHF is already forming a rejection candle. If the month closes today with this pattern, I can tell you that next month we should see some very massive bullish movement. But then that's until that happens. Now, what is possible on the USDCHF for now is this. You can see that there was a 4-hour rejection candle yesterday. Yes, yesterday when we were doing the analysis for the news, we are seeing the possibility of an inverse head and shoulder, which will lead to a bullish movement. But then we can't deny the fact that there's a rejection candle here and the liquidity seems to be a bit low at the moment. So if there's no sufficient volatility, that rejection candle is equally hitting a resistance. And that's what I said may happen to the USD card. So it's equally at a resistance level. So if the volatility is low, we actually may experience a bearish movement on the USD. That's the likelihood of what we may expect today. Except there is one volatility that will just push price up. If there's nothing like that, we may be getting ready for some slight bearish movement. Now, that will be good also because that will now give us a proper shoulder, which will now lead to the major break, which we may be expecting next week. So let's just watch out for how price does today. But if the volatility is not there, I'll just expect some retracement on the USD for a breakout later on, which might be next week. Idris, is there a possible trade on AED card? Okay, AED card, I think I've not really seen a setup on that instrument for a while now. I said maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, thereabouts. But then let's check. Okay, now you can see AED card. I have it drawn out. It's trading within this. I won't call it a symmetrical triangle, or I don't know what they even call it. It's a triangle pattern either ways, and we're expecting a breakout. So it looks a lot like a symmetrical triangle, though not in the fashion I'm expecting. It's a symmetrical. I'm expecting price. This should be the behavior. This should be the price pattern. But sometimes some of these things happen on their own the way they want. So that's what I would have expected. But nonetheless, this is what it looks like though. So if price breaks out upwards here for AED card, you can take a buy, and if price breaks out downwards, you can take a sell. So that's my view on AED card. And don't forget, for the upward breakout, there's actually a resistance. Price is actually trading at a resistance level. So for the upward breakout, price needs to break both the trend line and the resistance to have a further bullish movement. On the downside, price may drop and break out downwards. So Mr. Idris, just watch out closely on watch that AED card closely. A breakout above is a buy, and a breakout below is a sell. Mr. Sonny, Euro USD. I've said it many times, Euro USD seems to be selling, but I have not encouraged the sell because a lot of parameters I look at has not really been met. So for me, I'm not saying anything on this instrument for now. It's not falling in line with a lot of my analysis plan, regardless of the fact that it's selling. You don't just jump on a trade because it's selling. You must have reasons why you're selling it. It's not around the resistance level. It's not around the trend line level. It's not really meeting a lot of things I expect. So I will not be giving any view on this instrument until I can see clarity. For me, clarity for now could mean that it drops to, on the weekly time frame, we have a support level. We have a resistance. We have a resistance which will turn, which may eventually turn support here. So if price turns support here, then we can look for an opportunity to buy. That's the best I can give on the Euro USD for now. So if you go down to the daily time frame, and even let's say 4 hour, price is approaching that level. Let's say go down to 1 hour too. So we may draw our trend line in anticipation that price, will drop to this level, then break out upwards. So that's the view I have. I can draw a second one to form a falling wedge. So that's the view I have on the Euro USD for now. A drop to that uh, weekly resistance zone support and a breakout upwards. It's Olawale gold. We had a bearish outlook on gold yesterday, but looks like the volatility in the market was not strong enough to make price to really break out as expected. So you can see that gold is still trading around this resistance, from the daily and the weekly time frame. So that's you can see now that we are having a lot of range around this zone. So if price is unable to break out above that range, above that resistance, we expect a decline. Will that happen today? Honestly, I don't know. A lot depends on the movement of the dollar, and we're not seeing much liquidity around the dollar. All we're seeing is range, and there's no major news ahead. So I would say trade gold and trade the dollar pairs with a lot of caution. Yes, there are some dollar news in the afternoon, but they are not they may it all depends. They may not really move the market so much. They are not the regular volatile news like that. So there is no clarity as to gold's, at least from the way I view the market. There is none at the moment. So personally, I'll just stay on the sideline to watch for the next big move. Yesterday we were bearish, except you see price breakout. Let me delete some of these lines. If price hits this resistance and declines, well, I may look at the possibility of a sell on gold below this trend line. That's just the view I think I'm holding on to at the moment. A resistance, hitting resistance and dropping. That's just what I can say about gold at the moment. Good morning, Mr. Steven. So I just explained gold now to Oluwatoba Diogo and Chukwebuka. So a hit on the resistance and a breakout. These are the two things I'm looking out for on gold. You're welcome, Mr. Steven. Madam Onaji Gold, I just explained gold. Okay, Mr. Rajum, a recap of my analysis, I said we are bearish on the AUD USD on 1 hour, 4 hour, depending on your trading style. We're equally bearish on the New Zealand USD on 1 hour and 4 hour. We're bearish on the New Zealand CAD on 1 hour and 4 hour. And US oil is on a symmetrical triangle, so price could break out in either direction, also on 1 hour and 4 hour. I think that's all. And BTC, we're bearish on the long term on BTC. So that's my outlook at least for the instruments I personally analyzed for today. GBP CAD. Okay, yes. I mentioned at the beginning of the week that I have a bearish outlook on this instrument. The trade has triggered, but then it experienced a kind of a retracement yesterday. There was a drop and a retracement. I think there's a CAD news. Good. There's GDP on CAD in the afternoon by 1:30 p.m. If the news comes out good for the CAD, then that will drop GBP CAD further downwards. We're bearish on GBP CAD, no doubt, and it's a very valid bearish setup. I've done this analysis right from the beginning of the week. You can see there's a descending trend line from the monthly time frame and a resistance on the weekly. We have a resistance on the weekly, which is equally valid on the daily. So on the 4 hour, this is a confluence point between the monthly time frame trend line and the resistance on the daily and weekly time frame. So price broke out below the rising wedge. So we're on a downtrend. So if the news from Canada, there's GDP in Canada by 1:30 p.m. If the news comes out good for the card, then we'll see a further bearish drop on the GBP card. So I'm still very much bearish on the GBP card. That's to Mr. Udeme. Cybroid, what is your take on BTC? Long-term bearish, but trade with a lot of caution. Long-term bearish, but trade with a lot of caution. Reason is because today's end of month on the at least trade as far as trading is concerned. So there will be some volatility later in the afternoon today. You don't want to be caught on the other side of the market. Please trade with a lot of caution and trade with proper risk management today. Hello, Victor, Euro JPY. You're welcome, Mr. Raju. Euro JPY and Euro GBP. All right, let's quickly look at these two as we round up. Euro GBP has been on a downtrend for quite some time now. You know, after a massive breakout downwards like this. All right, so the move is about to be completed, and we should see price trying to move in another direction. Now, this is my new view of Euro GBP. For me, there's a support. We have a valid support level here, and price start to support the second time. Now, I will want a scenario where price drops to hit that support, not just the support alone. Now we have price also bouncing off a trend line. For the support, if price comes down to touch the support, we expect a bullish breakout. For the trend line, if price touches the trend line likewise, we're expecting a bullish breakout. So we'll rather wait for price to drop to this level, at least to this 0.83878. Let's go to the daily. So this is where our focus is now. If price can drop to this level, then I can tell you we'll expect a very big bullish movement afterwards. Let's go down to 4-hour, and price is actually close. Price is actually close to that level. It's just some 21, 22, 23 pips away from that support and trend line. If price can drop to that level, then we'll trigger a very big buy. Let's go to the daily and see, to the 1 hour and see likewise. So we can even go ahead and draw our trend line in anticipation of that drop on 1 hour. Now you can do this on either time frame, either 1 hour, 4 hour. This works for both day trading and swing. So this is what I'm expecting here. Price drops here and we get the big move afterwards. So we can position ourselves ahead. Let me check the Fibonacci levels. If you want to use pending order, that's if it's your thing. We can look at profit taking from about 55 pips to about 80 pips, there about 78.55 to 78.79 pips. So it should be a very good move. But the condition is that price needs to drop to that support and trend line first, so that confluence can be complete, and from there we just see a very big move on the Euro GBP. So I'm bullish on the Euro GBP while we anticipate a drop to that support zone and trend line as a confluence. And the same person asking about Euro JPY. So for Euro JPY, what do we see on the Euro JPY? Let's check. Now, we've been bullish on the JPY pairs for a while, but they have not been breaking out upwards. I believe that should be due to some fundamentals. All right, so this is a Euro JPY on the daily time frame. Let's start with the weekly. Okay, weekly, monthly. Like I said, by Monday, I'll be giving you the outlook for the month. There's a lot of setup that is forming ahead. I'm seeing a lot of volatility ahead in the month of September. A lot of volatility. For example, now this is I know some of you say, but what we need is today. The truth is that sometimes or set up are just long term. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to wait for it to happen. You may not say anything now. You just have to trade. You give what the market, sorry, you take what the market is willing to give. We are not the one deciding. It's what the market is giving. So if this is a monthly time frame and we're already having a rejection candle on the trend line. Now, if the month closes today, which is likely what's going to happen, I can tell you for free that you should expect a massive bullish movement on this instrument from next week, because price is bouncing off this trend line with a rejection candle. And not only that, we equally have a valid support zone right here. All right, so that's the long-term view. The long-term view on Euro JPY is bullish. So now let's look at what is possible for now. Now, this is the weekly. You can see we have a massive rejection candle there also some weeks back. And that was when I actually expected that massive bullish breakout. It only happened a little for 1 week, after which we've been experiencing some, bearish movement. This is daily. This is 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 hour. All right, so on the 4 hour, what I can see for now, looks like we have a support. Yeah, we have a support right there. And we have a trend line. Another trend line. So our long-term view is bullish, so that will guide us. This is not the time to look for any opportunity to sell. Whatever we're doing now, we should focus more on buying. So, and that is what this setup is telling us. It's a bullish setup. It's a falling wedge pattern on a support level on the 1 hour. So all things being equal, if price breaks out above here, then we should be looking at an opportunity to buy. So we're bullish on the Euro GBP, and we're equally bullish on the Euro JPY. So I believe that answered Mr. Victor. Isa Kile, before rounding up the meeting, kindly give us a recap. Definitely, I'll do that. Eurocard, I think we've already analyzed Eurocard. The news in the afternoon comes out good for the card because there's a GDP news for Canada. If it comes out good for the card, then Eurocard. Oh, sorry, Eurocard. I think there's a Euro news. Okay, I think you can see now. There's a Euro news by 10 o'clock, and I said for that one, if the news comes out, we're bearish on the Euro card. If the news comes out bad for the card, then Euro card will sell because already on the downtrend on Euro card. And also for in the afternoon, if the news in the afternoon comes out good for the card, Euro card will still sell. So Euro card is actually an instrument of interest for today because there's a news on Canada and there's a news from the Eurozone. So if the news in the morning comes out bad for card and the one in the afternoon comes out good for card, you should see a massive bearish movement on the Euro card. And it's starting from this morning by 10 a.m. when we have the first news coming up from the Eurozone. If it comes out bad for card, Euro card will sell. Excuse me. And in the afternoon, if the afternoon news on Canada comes out good for card, Euro card will still sell. So let's put our attention, on the Euro card pair for today. USD CHF, I said we might be expecting some, slight bearish movement. A lot on the USD depends on the dollar. Dollar has not been bullish lately. So, I mean, it's not really bullish. It's not been having enough volatility lately. So if the volatility returns today, we're on a long-term buy, but a short-term sell. If the volatility does not return to the market, then it will likely sell. It will most likely sell. But if we have enough volatility to make price break out of the current zone, then we may expect some bullish movement. Now, I did not say you should place a pending order on Euro GBP. I'm just giving you an insight as to what will happen. Don't just put a pending order. Let's wait and see. That what I'm trying to tell you is that the opportunity to buy will be stronger and more valid if price drops first, this is EURGB, drops first to this support level or support zone and a trend line, that's what will give it the launch pad to go higher. So I was now saying that if that has happened, then you can now look at using your Fibonacci to set a pending order. Don't just drop a pending order now when we don't know whether it's going to happen today or not. I can't really guarantee. It depends on the market movement. But for this to work out, because if you just go and put a pending order up there, price may actually break out here, but then there is no guarantee that it will continue going. It may break out and still drop, and that will give you a losing trade. You understand? So the condition is that let price drop first before you look at placing a pending order. Let price first of all drop to this support level. Then that you are guaranteed that when it breaks out with your pending order, it will pick it up and trigger your trade to the profit taking levels. All right, so that will be all. I think I've answered everybody. There's no pending question. So don't forget, next week Friday is our live NFP trading. Make sure you have a live funded account to join us for this event. And don't forget, our bootcamp continues. We've been dropping the links to the videos, of the sessions. So if you missed any of our bootcamp session, please go to our YouTube channel. I'll drop the address here. Our YouTube channel address rather is PU Prime Africa. So just go to YouTube, go to your YouTube account and type, PU Prime. I didn't write that correctly. PU Prime Africa. That's our YouTube channel address. Just go to YouTube and type PU Prime Africa. It will bring out, our channel. And I encourage you to subscribe. Subscribe to that channel. I've seen the subscription on it go up since we started dropping videos there since last week thereabout. Just if you are not yet subscribed to that channel, subscribe. We're dropping a lot of content, a lot of educative content that will be of benefit to you. So subscribe to that channel and look out for the videos. The recent videos there, they are the bootcamp series. Right from when we started, introduction to forex trading, technical analysis, support and resistance, candlestick pattern. I think the last class we had was candlestick or chart patterns. Everything is there. Just go and get it. And don't forget to join us for the live session of the bootcamp today by 7 p.m. 7 p.m. today, we have another bootcamp session. So join us. And if you live around Abuja or Lagos, because we have 2 physical offices in these locations, bootcamp physical session continues tomorrow, Saturday. Now, this Saturday session is for those who have busy schedules. You have a work, you have a job that cannot allow you to come to training during the week. We run trainings during the week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, but some people cannot meet up with it because of their work schedules, and it's quite understandable. And that's why we're having this physical session. We started 2 Saturdays ago. Tomorrow will be the 3rd session. It's not too late to join. So join us in Abuja and Lagos tomorrow by 11 a.m. for physical training for the bootcamp. It's a 6-week, bootcamp session, both online and physical, So join us tomorrow as we continue the online and the physical session by 11 a.m. at our Abuja office. The address is Work and Connect Building, 58B2 Okiwe Street, Jabi, Abuja. And for those in Lagos, the address is Agos Executive Lounge at 54B Adeniyi Jones Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. All right. And if you're yet to be a part of the PU Prime brand, I encourage you to go straight to our website, puprime.com, and open, your account. Next week, Friday, live trading for NFP is going to be for funded clients. So if you don't have funds in your account, go and fund now. And if you don't have an account now, open an account, and your account manager will reach out to you and walk you through the entire registration and verification process. All right, it's coming to an end right now. We'll still have the analysis in the afternoon session, but this is the end of the morning analysis session. Take care and trade safe, and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.